Hi, welcome to day 1. We are reading Preparing for Passover, a 14-day devotional for the days from Biblical New Year to Passover, written by Tina Chen. Today is day 1 and we are starting from the beginning. I'm so glad you're here to read with me. Day 1, New Beginnings. What is happening around you? Read Exodus 3, verses 1 through 4. And Exodus 12, verses 1 and 2. Exodus 3, verses 1 through 4 says, I'm reading from the Web US translation, Now Moses was keeping the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the back of the wilderness and came to God's mountain, to Horeb. Yah's angel appeared to him in a flame of fire out of the middle of a bush. He looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. Moses said, I will go now and see this great sight, why the bush is not burned. When Yah saw that he came over to see, God called to him out of the middle of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. He said, Here I am. And then we're going to read Exodus 12, verses 1 and 2. Yah spoke to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be to you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Moses was going about his day-to-day life when he suddenly saw something amazing, something that was seemingly impossible. But instead of shrugging and moving on with his day or trying to explain it away, he went to investigate, to see what or who was causing this miracle. Our God is always at work around us, doing things that only He can do. But how often are we too busy to even notice? And when we do notice, how often do we ignore it? Shrug and move on with our day, or try to explain it away in natural terms. Every new beginning with our God begins with a fresh encounter with Him. It begins with Him doing a new thing and waiting to see if we'll notice and come over to see what He's doing. It's His way of inviting us to know Him a little better, to join Him in His work. For Moses, it was the burning bush. For Joseph, it began with his own dreams, and despite all the bad things that happened to him, he never stopped paying attention to what his God was doing around him. He was wise enough to realize something was going on when both the baker and the cupbearer were sent to his prison and had dreams of their own. He took time to notice that they were both sad one morning, and he cared enough to ask them about it. He was alert and ready when the summons came 2 years later from Pharaoh for a dream interpretation. You can read about that in Genesis 40, verse 1 through 41:14. For David, it was being enabled to single-handedly overpower lions and bears while he was watching the sheep. Pondering what his God had done in those situations made him ready for Goliath's unusual challenge. 1 Samuel 17. As we begin this new biblical year and begin counting the 14 days to Passover, look around you. What is your God doing in the people around you? Is anything strange, different, or unexpected in your everyday life and interactions? Take time to prayerfully consider this and to ask Him what He is doing. What does He want to reveal about Himself to you that will be important for the next stage of your journey with Him?